that like a fire exit anyway? Oh my god, I thought that was a snap. There is a debate right now involving two games, Lethal Company and Content Warning. Some people think that Content Warning is the new Lethal Company, while others think it's not. In this video, we are going to settle this debate and actually see what's better. Content Warning is £6.69 on Steam, but on its release day it was actually free. Your task is to go down into the old world in this diving bell and record something spooky. This can cause some scary and not so scary moments. Then we have Lethal Company, that is £8.50 on Steam. Your task is to collect scrap, avoid enemies, and sell scrap to the tentacle man that I call Jeb. Oh, I'm getting sucked in. I'm getting sucked. The monsters in Content Warning are as terrifying as you would imagine them to be. For example, this motherfucker. The monsters in this game are pretty scary and can catch you off guard. Kinda like the snail that may or may not sometimes scare me half to death. But some are just hilarious, like the slime carrying my friend away. What the heck? The monsters also make you curious about what they can do, like the starfish when I got a little bit too curious. And since the game's goal is to record something spooky, you're actually encouraged to get closer to the monsters. Lethal Company doesn't do this, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense for a crew working for the company to get closer to the monsters. I guess unless you're trying to steal from a hoarding bug. But the monsters are still pretty interesting, like the Nutcracker. This man literally holds a shotgun and kicks you if you get too close.
Wait!
This encourages the player to stay out of sight and stay away. Unless you have a shovel, because then the game rewards you for getting close, risking your life and killing it with a shotgun. Another interesting monster is the Bracken. This man scares the shit out of me every time I know he's in the building. The Bracken is incredibly good at staying out of sight and can easily sneak up behind you. Lethal Company is very good at horror. A wise person once said, "A game doesn't need to be realistic to be scary." I might be that person. I have no idea how, but Lethal Company doesn't need loud sounds to be scary. In fact, it doesn't even need jump scares. For example, the ghost girl is scary enough to see, but after looking back and seeing the ghost girl standing still so many times, and then suddenly see her skipping towards you, it can put you in panic mode. But ducky, the ghost girl's easy to avoid, just don't look. But when you're lost in the dark, deep in the facility, and you hear her say, "It doesn't matter if it's just a game." Content Warning does the opposite and uses loud sounds to jump scare you. But basically, whenever you see an enemy, it'll play this, which can catch you off guard. Another example is the starfish when you're not being an idiot. Oh, guys. Alright. Lethal Company has 11 moons excluding the company building to choose from, and it's not linear in the slightest. There are 5 weather conditions in total. That means you could land on a moon one time and have a completely different experience depending on if it's stormy, eclipsed, flooded, rainy, or foggy. One time you could be silently sneaking past enemies on eclipses, and another you could be wading through the water slowly in hopes of getting back to the ship on time in flooded. Now, there are limitations on what moons can have what weather conditions, but some kinda make sense, like how Titan can't be flooded but the weather can always keep you on your toes. In addition, there's a chance for the map on the inside to either be factory or mansion. Now, Content Warning has way less variety. As far as I know, there's only 2 map variants. Alright, pause for 1 second. Guys, don't be like me and be an idiot. I got my information off some random Astral Spiff video and I didn't actually look at the wiki. There's actually 3 map variants. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not even sure if the map itself can be random. The map is still pretty large and scary to explore, but definitely still a win for Lethal Company. Film it! Film it!
Where'd it go?
I don't know why, but learning things in video games with no help, for me, is a pretty satisfying feeling. For example, when I was playing with my friends, I had saved one of my friends by throwing an item at a starfish that was holding them. It felt so good that I learned that all on my own with no guide, and that helped us in the following rounds we did. Lethal Company also has this, but instead of learning through trial and error, you scan enemies, which will be sent to the terminal for you to read about. This is a cool way to figure out what enemies do, but it's not as satisfying as figuring it out on your own. The items in Content Warning are the standard items like flashlights, microphones, sound players, but there's other things like a shock stick, a defibrillator, and a Google? What the hell? You can also buy emotes so you can say F you to someone. Lethal Company items include flashlights, walkie-talkies, shovels, boomboxes, jetpacks, and other items I'll display on screen now. In my opinion, Lethal Company items are just more fun to use. Flying through the air with a jetpack is surprisingly very satisfying to do, and the sound of hitting an enemy is also very satisfying. Now, that's not to say Content Warning's items aren't fun to mess around with. You can shock your friends with a shock stick, and you can also shock monsters. And you can literally bring your friends back to life with a defibrillator.
Yeah, you can stay, I don't mind.
It is a lot harder to make a strategy in Content Warning than in Lethal Company. In Content Warning, there's only one camera, which means only one person is vital to the mission, and only that person needs to do their part. In Lethal Company, however, everyone needs to do their part. The ship person needs to open doors and warn teammates of danger. The person bringing stuff back to the ship needs to be efficient to not waste time, and the two other teammates need to split up through the fire exit and main entrance to ensure the most efficient looting strategy. To summarise, everyone is important and doesn't make anybody feel left out. The game doesn't punish you too much if you don't play perfectly either. Conclusion, Lethal Company has more variety and strategy, while Content Warning is just goofy fun with friends. I'm not saying Content Warning is a bad game, I've genuinely had fun playing this game. I just think the replayability aspect could be a bit better. I really hope the devs add multiple cameras, then everyone's part is important, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.